time. Davies, who is the Wales Commissioner for Sustainable Futures. Thanks, Peter.
Brilliant. Thank you, Sean. Bore da. Good morning, everybody. My name is Peter Davies. As you've just heard, I'm the Commissioner for Sustainable Futures here in Wales, which is a public appointment through the Welsh Government to support the Welsh Government in its duty to promote sustainable development, and you may hear more of that through the day. It's a real honour for me to be opening this session and chairing this opening session of the conference. I know many of you here, and I've had the honour of working with many of you in different places around Europe in terms of the work of the EAC. So a really important day today in terms of the conference, and it's an honour for us in Wales to be able to host you for this conference. It's now my job, though, to welcome and to introduce our host in terms of the institution that is hosting this conference today, and to welcome and introduce Professor John Hughes. I'm delighted to say that Bangor University not only is the preeminent university in Wales, not one, the preeminent university in Wales, but it's also the leading university. It has the highest placing in Wales in the People and Planet League, with a first-class honours position in terms of the ranking of UK universities in terms of people and planet. So a real commitment to this agenda here in the university. And as we all know, that commitment is down to leadership. So if we could all now welcome in the leader of the institution.
Well, bore da, croeso canestianiki I gyd I Gymru ac I Brifysgol Bangor. A very warm welcome to you all, to Wales and to Bangor University. I think there are actually three good reasons why Bangor is a wonderful place to host this really important conference. Number one, we have one of the finest collections of environmental scientists, I think anywhere, certainly in the UK and possibly in Europe. And together with our sister university in Aberystwyth, just down the coast, we're conducting research right across the world. We're heavily, strongly present in countries in Africa, in Asia, and in South America. So we have very strong credentials in environmental science. The second reason is that we are a very sustainable university. We have these first-class honours and gold stars and so on and so forth. But actually more important, what we've done over this last couple of years is instill the whole notion of sustainability within the university, within both the staff of the university and, I'm delighted to say, the students of the university. And indeed many of the students who come to Bangor come because of the environment in which we find ourselves. And indeed our students have done us proud by winning national prizes for last year, the most sustainable or the greenest student union in the country, in the UK, that is. and they've embarked on a number of significant projects around the country, and of course there's plenty to do in an area such as this. And the third reason, of course, is that Bangor is in an area of outstanding natural beauty. We're sandwiched between the very unspoiled Snowdonia National Park, the beautiful Isle of Anglesey, the Menai Straits, the Irish Sea. And certainly those of you who have not been to Bangor before, I hope you have a chance to spend a few days here to see some of the beautiful countryside that we have around here. So let me say a few words about the conference. There is, of course, considerable interest across Europe in ecosystem services, the benefits that the environment provides to society, and the ecosystem approach in government and policy. And this conference today will provide a forum for leading experts to highlight the latest policy developments and research initiatives in ecosystems management at the European, the UK, and of course the Welsh level as well. And I'm delighted to welcome Professor Jackie McGlade, who will give the keynote address, and Professor McGlade is the former Chief Executive Director of the European Environment Agency. Now, it was 3 years ago, actually, just shortly after I arrived here in Bangor as the Vice-Chancellor, the then EU Environment Commissioner, Yanis Potocnik, gave the keynote address at a major conference here at this university, in fact, standing just where I am. And in his conference presentation, Mr. Potocnik stated that we will have to find new and innovative tools, and these must benefit diversity and ensure the provision of ecosystem services. The adoption of the Natural Environment Framework for Wales has been created in exactly this spirit, and it will face the current environmental challenges with a new, more integrated approach. And for this reason, I'm very pleased that Wales clearly wants to be at the forefront and wants to lead by example. Well, since that time, in those 3 years, Wales has made significant progress in environmental policy and management. And in April this year, it established a single statutory environmental body, in Natural Resources Wales, which will manage natural resources in an integrated way according to the principles of the ecosystem approach, which is the theme of your conference. And I'm delighted that the Director, Emer Roberts, and many of the staff are here today at the conference. NRW is now the largest public body in Wales, and the Welsh Government is currently drafting a new Sustainable Development Bill and a new Environment Bill that will be ready for public consultation by the end of the year and will influence the way in which the NRW works. And you'll hear more about that later on today. So I think it's a very key moment now in the process that this conference is being held here in Bangor. The conference will highlight the latest policy developments in research and ecosystems management at the European, UK and Wales levels, and it will gather together examples of the best practice from across those regions. We have representatives, I'm delighted to say, from 23 countries to hear about the developments in those countries. And we've also attracted a very impressive array of scientists and policy advisors from universities and from institutions across the European Union. So once again, can I give you a very, very warm welcome to Bangor and to North Wales, and I wish you a very successful and productive day. Thank you very much.